Hello, good evening. My name is Elias Musha. I'm going to give you a few minutes to share with as many people as possible, and then we'll get started. Happy Easter, everybody. Happy Easter, everybody. This is quite late, I know. In Chuempala, it should be like 10 minutes to 22 hours. So that should be very late. You should be sleeping. But for those that are not sleeping, it's okay. You can spend a few minutes with me. It won't hurt. I don't think it will really hurt. So those that are missing us today on the 2nd of April, they're going to read this video. They're going to read this video. They're going to play this video at a later stage and they'll catch up. Okay? So thank you very much for joining me here. Please share with as many people as possible. Who knows who could be awake this time? So today is Easter Friday, right? Tomorrow is Easter, Holy Saturday, and then Resurrection Sunday, which is quite remarkable. And so it should be a holiday. It's a holiday here. I think it's a holiday in much of the common law world, right? In much of the Christian world. And then it's also a holiday on Monday in Zambia and several other African countries. Here, Monday is not a holiday, so we are back to the office. And it doesn't make a difference for me anyway. I'm in the office almost all the time. Yeah. So happy Easter. I hope you are enjoying yourself. Wondering what is going on. Some of you, instead of being in church or something like that, you are just enjoying yourself somewhere else. Who knows? On Easter Friday, this is not an ordinary long weekend. This is a very special long weekend. So you need to spend it on much more important things than going out and drinking. Anyway, thank you for joining me. So this is Easter, and today is the Vice President of Zambia's 80th birthday. Amazing. So the Vice President has turned 80 years old today, which is pretty remarkable, for a country whose life expectancy has been 50 years for a very long time, between 40 to 50 years for a very long time. When you hit 80 years, that's pretty huge. You belong to like maybe the top 1% of the population. No, not even 1%, like the top 0.05% of the population, which is pretty remarkable, right, for her. So we are wishing and sending her very happy 80th birthday, 80 years. So for somebody who is 80 years old, it means they were born in 1940, 42. Wow, that's amazing. 42, 52, 62, and there she is. Still quite vibrant, as you can see. She's still very hardworking. And of course, I don't like the Patriotic Front, the way it abuses our senior citizen. But there she is, working hard for the country. And so happy 80th birthday to her, okay? So this is Easter Friday. Some are watching from Borokoso, K for Life. She says hello. Hello, K for Life. Borokoso, hello, Commander Achani. Few Chireshengos thinks that I'm a commander. Nishi, how can I be a commander? In a commander, so from Long Acres as well. Long Acres is joining us. And so congratulations on your academic credentials, says Gibson Kapil. Thank you very much. I typically don't regard myself as pretty educated. I don't know why. For some reason. So thank you for recognizing that. So 7 degrees. Hopefully there will be an 8th, and who knows? Maybe there will be a 10th. I have no idea, but I like education, and so we'll see how far it goes. Okay. Thank you very much. All right. The next thing is the price control. So in Zambia, we have the Consumer Protection Agency, which is an arm of the state. It's an administrative statutory body that the government has instituted to look into price fixing and things like that. So they have apparently gone to the cartel, to the cement cartel, and they have found out that actually these cement companies have been fixing prices. So there is a huge fine for whether it's Chilanga Cement. There is a huge fine for is it Dangote? Only Dangote has survived it. I think Lafarge is in trouble. Several other cement manufacturing companies are in trouble because of what the CCP is saying, that it's price fixing, right? But I think the whole reason why prices are escalating in Zambia has got nothing to do with a specialized cartel that is jacking up prices. I think the issue is that there isn't good governance. The issue is that the president is not governing properly. And that's the whole reason why all these prices are going up. So the solution of trying to control prices doesn't really work. It doesn't really work because it's a very temporary fix. They're going to do it for cement companies, but I understand that cement companies themselves are saying that the cost of production is too much, it's too high. So they have no option apart from raising the prices. But you could have probably said that it's okay as far as prices are concerned, cement prices, because if it were only cement prices that are the issue is not just cement prices. The issue is salad, cooking oil. The prices are shooting up. Even Mabisi, just a small liter of Mabisi, a small packet of Mabisi, it has shot up extremely expensive. And so the Patriotic Front government actually should look in the mirror and accept responsibility that it is the one that is responsible for these prices, for this confusion. This is not something that is just happening suddenly to say that no, it's just cement prices. So I don't believe there is a cartel in Zambia that is fixing these prices. What I believe is that there is a cartel at State House that does not know how to govern. So they want anything that they can touch, anything that they can use as an excuse. Wow, so today it's cement companies. Tomorrow they'll go for cooking oil companies. The other day they'll go to people selling onions and tomatoes. Okay, but they're the ones that are responsible for what is happening with onions. So it is quite irresponsible. And the issue is it's the Patriotic Front to take responsibility over the inflation and prices. So where is the inflation coming from? Because so far, workers have not had their increase. So there is no increase in salaries for workers. So the question is, where is the inflation coming from? Where is the oversupply of money in the Zambian economy coming from? And that's the question that even the Bank of Zambia is failing to answer, right? They can't answer. Why is it that there is so much inflation, in the upwards of 20% inflation over the previous quarter, 20% rise in inflation? So for you to have this much inflation, it's either you have raised salaries for government workers to an extent where you print money and then you raise salaries, but salaries have not risen. So where is the inflation from? From the dollar? That could partly explain it, but it is also the money that we see with cadres, right? Because where is all that money coming from? And the more supply of money that is not connected to any production, any productivity, but you have money, it means then that there is someone supplying it. And who is supplying it? Of course, very likely it could be the Patriotic Front and its government. So they are the ones that should look in the mirror. They are the biggest and largest cartel. They are the ones that have failed to manage the Zambian economy. And so we should not find ourselves blaming all these others, right? Because you sooner or later you are going to run out of people to blame. Okay. Sweet November, try singing back with your voice conveka. People, please. I always make it a point to avoid laughing when I'm doing these live broadcasts. The reason is it's not good. You are doing a live broadcast and then you are laughing. It's very embarrassing. Okay. But when you are posting things like sing because your voice conveka coffee. I don't even know Kofi. Who is Kofi? Anyway. No, I'm not going to sing. I just sing under very limited circumstances. Maybe on August 12th. I took off my album on 12th August. What do you think? Yeah. Anyway, anyway, that's interesting. Sweet November. At salad. Kainge, it's salad. The thing that has been increased in Zambia is salad. Now it's the increase. Salad. Everything, salad, tomato, onions, fionce, everything is now over the top. And the question is, where is the oversupply of nuts, of monies in Zambia coming from, right? It's pretty pathetic. Now, the Patriotic Front has really, it's a government that has failed to govern. They have no ideas. Even the few ideas that they have no discipline to stay on top of these ideas. In other words, they're just ruling. They're just existing without any tangible work at all, and that is the problem. Do I believe that we are condemned to this kind of thing? No, I think we can do far much better. Our country can do far much better. But we've got to get rid of this government in August. I don't compromise about that. I don't shy away from saying that we need to get rid of this government. This government has failed. Of course, that is why the prices are so high. That is why prices of basic commodities are going so high. It's not because there is no one government. And once things become difficult for them, they find somebody else to blame without looking at themselves. This is what is going to happen. Yeah. How can we strengthen our institutions of governance, police, judiciary, parliament, etc.? They seem too weak to support good governance. I don't think, I think our institutions, particularly things like the judiciary, in my opinion, I think that the Zambian judiciary is relatively independent. They always rise up to the task when called upon, really, the Zambian judiciary. In terms of the Zambian parliament, we do also stand up. And I think Zambians are very politically aware and very politically active, much more politically active than their SADC counterparts. And so it is this strength of Zambian democracy that helps us, that saves us at critical times. And so we need to continue doing the right thing. We shouldn't be discouraged. No, kusambamo, like the way Pontius Pilate at Chitalero, kusambamo. I have nothing to do with this gentleman. Go and crucify him. Asambamo. So Zambians should not usambamo. We must continue with the work that we do, holding President Lungu's government accountable, holding the Patriotic Front government accountable, trying to look and search for new solutions to our problems, because that is what really matters. Would I want anything to change with the political activeness of our people? No. I think we are doing the right thing. We speak our minds. That's the way we are as Zambians. We are very outspoken. We participate in our politics. We support opposition parties. When the government, we speak out and say, no, you can't do dongo. We can't tolerate it, you see. When they came up and said that they are going to implement Bill 10, look, it was ordinary Zambians who stood up and said that this government does not have our interest at heart. And it is the people of Zambia that united together to drive against bill number 10. And so I'm very optimistic. And I believe in the people of Zambia that they will do the right thing. Even come August, they are going to do the right thing. Yeah. Natasha Mwaba says, yeah, I can't hear you. It's noisy here. Oh, okay. It's noisy. Where are you? Obviously, for it to be noisy on a Friday night, it means, no, I shouldn't guess. I shouldn't guess. Hello from YouTube. I can see you. How are you doing? Gibson Kapili, I should phone you one day. My pastor Chalyumba gave me your number. Thank you very much. Chalyumba is my older brother. Yeah, we have a very, very long history with Pastor David Chalyumba from Chingola. And then I'm reading this book, reading it again, Charles Mwewa's book. It's a 1,000-page book, Charles Mwewa. And on my current read, I'm on page 114. He too grew up in Chingola, right? Slightly older than me, a few years my senior, but I can relate to some of the things that he says about his own story. Yeah, and so David, I wouldn't be surprised if David and Charles Mwewa probably knew each other. I'm not sure, but anyway, we are all Chingola products. So this book, if you want to read a book that is like one big book that has everything about Zambia, this is the one. Okay, so this is my read for April. Pray for me so that I finish it before the month end. And one book is like I've already read 5. You read this one book, it's like you've already read 5. Okay. Yeah, so when you mentioned Pastor David Chalyumba, it reminded me of our common Chingola story. Yeah. Mukubesa, do you think OPF leaders are bad? No, I don't think OPF leaders are bad. I really think that President Lungu's leadership is pretty bad. That's what I believe, and a few others. So it's President Lungu Nabanabo. They're the ones that are a problem. Okay? So who is a problem in the Patriotic Front? President Lungu and his group of friends. And this Cartel. Eva Cartel over there. Those are the ones that are a problem. I do have friends and my own relatives that are part of the Patriotic Front. If anything, a lot of my relatives in Milenge, they are Patriotic Front. My own uncle was district commissioner for Milenge. I think he's aspiring to stand on the Patriotic Front ticket. I can't speak much about that. My own uncle is a councillor in Milenge. My cousins are members of the Patriotic Front and staunch supporters of the Patriotic Front in Chingola or anywhere else. This time around, when I visited Chingola, one of my cousins took me on a drive from Chwempala Market to his house in Riverside. And he was like, you talk too much about the Patriotic Front. I want to show you what the Patriotic Front have done here in Chingola. So all the way that we drove from Chwempala Market to his house, he was just telling me about how good the Patriotic Front is. Anyway, and so yes, I do believe that there are some good people in the Patriotic Front. The people that I believe are not good for the country is President Lungu and his friends, because President Lungu has failed to govern the bad. If you walk take, he has failed. Why do you think there is so much inflation? It's just it's because there is a leader out there who has no clue. That is the problem. So when I say the Patriotic Front, that's exactly what I mean. I mean President Lungu, nabo. President Lungu, nabo. Nabo, President Lungu, nivakerenka. President Lungu, President Lungu, nivakerenka. No. What I'm saying is that President Lungu, nabo. We face this kind of situation in Zambia where inflation, 22% inflation, and then he wants to blame everybody else. ZCCM Investment Holdings, your new company, ZCM Investment Holdings, and it's now going to begin buying all these mines. But when they take possession of these mines, they finna fika change. Instead, we have seen the kwacha is dropping, inflation rising. It means then that they have no plans. It is pretty pathetic. Now, I'm not saying this because I'm just trying to be malicious. No, I'm saying this because it is being experienced by the people of Zambia on the ground. It's being experienced every day. Impia na shishota mchalo. Ifintu imitengo off the roof. Obunga, saladi, tomato. Nomba bantu, they are depending on pakata. Filechari muli kaunda pakata kapamela na tu sugar na tu soti na tu salad utu wa kupimisha. Going back to the dying days of the Kaunda regime and the first years of Abena Chiluba, our country started recovering. Yarisa tampoco chita recover bwino. Where did Rupiah Banda leave us? Rupiah Banda left us with $2.5 billion in reserves. $2.5 billion in reserves from Rupiah Banda. Nabena Mwanawasa. $2.5 billion. Where has it gone? It's all been misused. Bare fokotola po fie ba lungu nabana. Oku fokotola po. Shonse shapwa. After shapwa. Elobaya kongwe lapo. Billions and billions more. In the meantime, as we are borrowing all this money, what will happen is it will help our economy. No, it's not. Because mweka chalo wakanono, nga mwakongo, efyo ndandi loko bati, we muntu nga chakutira, muli kanono. Measure yourself. Kuipima. Tetu we muntu li kanono. Nangwa alikwata kanono. Ero waya muku ibika po, kwa nakalimono byoli chikuru, ukasevana. That's what I always say. So you as a small economy in Zambia, mwaya Kongola ama billions. The problem is that interest yeka is going to put pressure on your yearly budgets. Mweka chalwa kanono mwasa Kongola chinga 20 billion. Let's say interest out of that 20 billion every year. Mwakuladi pira konga ni maybe 1 billion. Let's say it's 1 billion or 1 billion yakula no kukula. Let's say it's $500 million. You know what will happen? All that money, just interest, it swallows the entire national budget. Such that for the future, for the foreseeable future, ngamwapanga budget, a huge chunk of your budget will go where? Will go towards paying interest on the kaloba that you have borrowed. That is going to put pressure on your delivery of services, on hiring new doctors, hiring new nurses, hiring teachers, investing in strategic places of the economy. Why? Because a bunch of the money in your budget is going to be servicing kaloba. If ichitika mumayanda, if ichitika na kuchalo, mwamona, nganiwe teacher, ofola 3,000 or 4,000 kwacha. Elowaya Kongo la Kaloba, 20,000 kwacha. You know what will happen? It means then that every time that you get paid, Kaloba, bakula putulako 3,000, washala na 2,000. No mamuli yo ine 2,000, usungire mwabana, ulipirire kwa abago skulu, ero nomba, nabambi, inshallah, nde, if it's the teach, but nabambi, wafu irisheko. Muli 2,000. It can't work. So it puts pressure. Now, because you are government, if you number kwabelama user fees, toll gates, because they are broke, and toll gates are not going to be cheaper, it will continue being expensive. User fees in education, user fees in health, user fees in insurance, user fees when exporting, user fees when importing, user fees when going to the toilet, user fees when you are coming out of the toilet, user fees everywhere. The reason is because the government is broke and the little money in the budget is going to be servicing the enormous kaloba that this government borrowed. That is where the problem is. So instead of exercising what we call fiscal discipline simply means tekwamba konomba ukula chitefya yako chita when you are broke ufire waichefya so ukunwa waleka no kupula waleka waipangako a little bit of discipline ngolefu okushita ngarakutira barefu amasoja baisati tukushitire ndeke wakana wevere no bane if even if machope if yakula ntwala anywhere I'm going it's okay mama nomba when you lack discipline amasoja ngabasa ko bati kateka tulofu kukushitire chideke chama none no kudemfwa you will because you lack discipline wamona kona kalimo ekuteka so baya kushitire fideke fitatu. And what is that doing? It is continuing. It is a sign that you lack discipline. So that is exactly what is happening. A lack of fiscal discipline. Jonse kanshi kula saba ilafie wayoku washite fideke, you know. Na bakapokola instead yako batu wasunge mpia bwino ufole sheko bakapokola some decent salary. Wayamuku bashitira ifima manda. If polo, bullets, guns, rifles, fiena washta, you have money for that, wakongola wabapela. But you're not paying wakapokola some decent salary. That is what has resulted in the mess that we are in. It's not complicated that vale michita complicated yo if you no, it has a cause. And President Lungu is part of the problem. It's part of the problem. So when HH, for example, said that in Kashitishe Ndeke, it is a sign. It is a message that he is sending to the economy. He's going to be restrained and disciplined. When you send that message in the economy, na confidence mu economy ilaba more. That's what it means. Confidence in the economy. It means ama players won't saba mu economy. Bamona if you kateka alelanda, nefyo alenda, nefyo alechta. Economy te kumoneka fye wino, you know, na ufuara suti nen sapato, na upolisha na ukupolisha. No. Economy te kumoneka fye wino no wadaisha ne mishishi. From grey to black, ate kuchitarani economy. No. To send confidence in the economy, it's the messages that you are speaking as the head of state. Nomba, ababadipo. Benanga babe bati ndeke tumipere ya manone. Bebere yes. Babe pesha na national security. At it is a matter of national security. How can a luxurious jet, Gulfstream, be a matter of national security? For what? For what? The whole reason why I'm just using this to compare. Gulfstream and why? Ataka sampuisha poko wati ngabapanga mo irenga ni 50 million ikafumamo after ba sampuisha igendeke akayemu kulipira kulikaloba so that in subsequent years the pressure of the Kaloba interest is going to be reduced, and once that is reduced you'll be able to help students, you'll be able to buy immunity, you'll be able to prioritize the economy and reduce inflation. Na kuacha kutiyaba kobwina. Nombo bwafye bwakobati ba Patriotic Front, balungu naba nabo, bakerenka, ubufi weka. Anso, babepa fye kona kalimo they are breathing, beno kupema kwa bufi. Namwabe pusha, ati balungu nishire chitika barepema, kanshi bufi fye weka babepa mwebo bufi. Where are the reserves? At Yona to what gold, shan, gold, Bank of Zambia is buying gold, and once they begin doing this, our kwacha is going to strengthen. But ama reserves ayali ku Bank of Zambia. Elo nomba baisa tubepa ati yo nomba kuli gold mo ati kuliko ka small payment ako barelo lela through gold. Ati ngayaisa gold ni kwacha ikachita strengthen mwebo. Mwadia ama reserves ayo mwako ete mu bank. There is some gold somewhere in Mwinilunga that the Bank of Zambia will be buying to strengthen the kwacha. That is a sign of Bukerenka. Mama. Taperi fili straight. Fionse, very complicated. It's simple. Naba filu woku teka. apo bafiruwa okuteeka kuchita mu August kuba bafunyepo nga balanda ati ndinani mwana bikapo kube bati yo ngale fesi tumifumyepo ero tusale tulefu achiteshani na wateke ko tumone nomba tekulanda ati yo nomba tamukweto wako bikapo kanshi mwifumyapo yo na tubakwata abengi so many choices kuli Hakainde Hichilema kuli Nevas Mumba kuli Felix Mutati na bambi bengi abalefu akokweba nabo bachitejani bateke so ngale tubafunyepo balungu bantu bafiruwa okuteka bafiruwa ifyo bareteka balungu tefyo bateke echalo iyo tefyo bateke echalo efe so kanshi nomba kukoserera mutu wa kubepesha tumo you know ati mujama bridges mulusakata ayama bridge aya tuakula ayama bridge aya they will lead to economic development mwebo kuisa okay ati congestion na ichepa mweba nandi mwimona kwana kali mwefindanda ndashupa fye it's true kweno bwa ushibula nshupa limo nteti njikali fe tondolo tafwa yo kulandalanda nomba ndefo ya munja fuirisheko if yo balanda oko bati fifima bridge fika afuirisha traffic fiali chitika zero planning zero coordination zero common sense tapali nomba echo tumfuire chakwe bati bamuna titafire bomba nomba they are bringing ama traffic lights ifima robots even na paranda about pene babika kwa ifima robot everywhere so where is the common sense therefore munja fuirisha where is the common sense ama bridges they are not there for decorations at Chamonix Wino mama. When Michael Sata created flyover bridges on the two sides of town, it was to resolve a practical problem. Ayama bridge balungu bapangire yako atiyale moneka bwino batuma drones mumulu ero yakopa ubushiko so chida yakopa no manage no tumalaiti na tuwaka ero basa chita distribute all over kwa we are working very hard and we are a working government utupo batuletarika mwebo. Has it solved the traffic problem? No. Has it solved the fuel problem? No. Has it solved the kwacha problem? No. Has it solved the inflation problem? No. Has it solved the cement problem? No. Kanshi fianshi atifia kumoneka fyebuino. It's a government of ukumoneka buino. That's it. Cosmetic changes that have no application on economic fundamentals. Nothing. Bolingo. Bolingo ya solo. Fiakumoneka fyebuino. Solo la bien. This is the solo la bien kind of government. Chipante pante fiamoneka bueno. This is the government that fiamoneka bueno. Mweba ome. Tatulefua fie atifimoneke bueno. Nice pictures. We want abantu barefo okulia okuikuta. Nabo bomfueko bueno. Bomfueko amanono okulia bueno. So what will happen in August, between now and August? President Lungu will be showing pictures of the flyover bridge. Is it a flyover bridge? at Nato Womba. The economy down. In Piak Bank of Zambia, it's all been squandered. All of it. Takuli. How much is our reserves now? Below 1 billion? No dollar. God yobare bepesha irikui takuli. Wufi. ZCCM Investment Holdings nayo. It has finally bought Mopani. It has finally bought Mopani at $1.5 billion. $1.5 billion for Mopani. That's how much the Zambian government is in for. If Glencoe wanted to leave, why didn't you just let them leave? Why do they leave and make money off you? If you're ndera common sense na ichepa muri ba patriotic tabare teka bwino yo chiteke ero no kubaseka mfuiro kuleko kubaseka Bantu Tabakwete, they have no clue. The Patriotic Front has no clue. President Lungu has no clue about what to do with the government. How many economic plans has he given? One man, 2016 economic plan, 7th National Development Plan. Kwasa banaimbi I plan ibachtre release at Chanati at a recovery plan. A lot of plans. Lack of implementation, lack of discipline, lack of common sense, lack of the guts to govern. And we shouldn't say, okay, but no, we have no other way to deal with it. We do have a choice as Zambians. Who of the leaders is promising Ukoba Takaba disciplined? What? Afiwaka sampuisha na tuweba kale. Ukoba chichiteke nka sampuisha. Ama soja bati na bevere kutuwa sampuisha jani ndekevere. What are you talking about? At you, we are the army. We can't sampuisha the president's plane. There is a higher emergency to pay off Kalova, not the higher emergency to protect Hichilema. No, I will be moving as an ordinary person. Helicopters, it's okay. Hichilema teine. Elo tuise tulanda we are stranded. We are stranded about leadership. No, we are not stranded. Tueshe. Kanshi ngale balongo bafumepo. Tueshe ko yunankwe tumone ifu akachita. Gata tekele bwino nankwe tukachita shani tukamufumia hapo ati tubike po nani? Tubike po munsha. Ati okay, akainde Hichilema. No, betu wakupera kwa chance ati uteke wafirwa. Kanshi tubike po yuwe mwena chiwempala. Panunako hata nankwe chiwempala plan. Eto tuwakulachita. We are not going to allow ourselves to be subjected to confusion and all these things that yomgo ayu na tupererwa. Awe tatupelelwe yo. Takodi. We can do it. Kuchituwa kontolola. Epera. And kukontolola, it's extremely possible. Extremely possible Zambia ukukontolola economy kutiyaba controlled very anso panon panono chokanshi uyubali ngalen that Bali will fix it. I think adi tupera kona ka idea kako but kwena he will fix it ineteti museke hiyo because alelo ndururo tumoto akobade they are making sense, so why not? I'm not campaigning for him. And who am I to campaign for Bali? Who am I to campaign for Mr. Haga in the Hichilema? He campaigns on his own. I cannot campaign for him. I have no gravitas to campaign for Mr. In all I'm doing is I'm comparing words as an analyst. Na chita compare for Aleranda. Nasanga moko wat kwena muli something. Mufio Aleranda. And then I'm just explaining it. Okay, but it's possible. It's possible. Yeah. Council, PF and its group, see government, it's a failed project. Don't be surprised when we wake up one day and that all of them in Shadrach Mwanza. I know the group C thing comes from Avena Sean Tembo. I like to pay the impression of whether group A. You see, if you're our biggest problem in Zambia is not necessarily education. Even about grade 12 that's why I've been telling you about grade 12 certificate. Okay. Some of you go get all worked up and want to see my grade 12. Nama degree 7. Okay, that's not an issue. I don't worry about grade 12. I'm left for grade 12 on Kamilanga and Kamilete. It's okay. I have no worry. But I'm concerned that this idea about government difference. No. The problem with the Patriotic Front, it's not because they are not educated. Valungu ni va lawyer. Lawyer so lawyer wa mano. At Valungu vale pasa pa university. Vale stafeka test vale mbaba pasa. Extremely bright. That is not where the problem is. We don't have a brightness problem or an education problem in Zambian leadership. We have problem yamano ayachifyalirwa nokusakamana abantu nokuleka bukerenka. That is the problem we have. Abantu bayichirema nga bayisateeka efene bateeka ti bakaleta pwamano ayo ba patriotic front tabakwete. No. No. Icho tulefuwa okumona it's having a clue. This clue may not even be connected to education. Icho tulefuwa yani ntungulushia kwe but you know how to hire strategic people to help move the country forward. That's what we need. The problem in the PF is not because tamwaba abasambirire mobali bengi. No manaba sambirira bene. Mulandu wako bati barefo kuchitasha no kuchita please if into panga says they become useless cadres. They're not cadres for the poor. They're cadres for their own interests. And that is the biggest problem. So when I say to ababalungu mwika bavotera, it's not because they bamano nangwata bafipasa nga baya ku school. No. Nicho balungu naba nabo ni bakerenka mwebo ni bakerenka full-time kerenkas at balungu eba chairman of Industrial Development Corporation IDC. Mwebo, these people, President Lungu and 3 cabinet ministers, they are board members of the Industrial Development Corporation. If you kaunda touched repo, just to give you an idea of how rotten this system is. Na kaunda touched repo if you ko ni chairman of Indeco, Alesa Rakobambi. This government has done it. Now, do you know why it's messed up to have the president and 3 cabinet ministers to become board members? There is no accountability. There is no accountability. That's why, just a few months ago, IDC decided to invest $48 million in a company, in a 2-year-old company that makes tiles. 2 years, is it a 2-year or 3-year-old company? That makes tiles. Eloba Tuvepat Marco Polo Tiles Manufacturing Company has made a profit. Ubufi. They had what do you call it? The final accounting report that tells you the profit. They had the final report by February, or is it January? Nikuisoko ama last year's financial reports, they are available in January. Who did it? Ebu Kelenka, IDC. How can the president, who is chief of cabinet and chief of state, also be chief of this company? When something is wrong with this company, where will the people of Zambia take it? When this company buys shares in Marco Polo company for 48 million, where would the people of Zambia complain? This is not how you can grow an economy. Never. And so when you are IDC and then you begin competing with the private sector in investment opportunities, you are going to be squeezing out the little person in the industry. Let's take the case in point, Airways. IDC apparently is going to be running Zambia Airways. It's going to push out these small companies, Zambian Airways, is it Mahogany Airways, and what's the name of these other private airlines? They're going to be squeezed out. If you as a government want to maintain shares in some strategic industries, let it be strategic industries. Tell us, Ukobat, the reason why you are investing in this particular thing is because it is strategic to the integrity of the country. What strategic integrity of the country does an airline have? Investing in an airline. It's because utilities are strategic. Number indeke. What is a mentality yamanone? So you want to invest in an airline. And who is making those decisions? The president and 3 cabinet ministers and 2 permanent secretaries. When we say there is a way to govern our country, it is because there is a way. If take abalungu, tefyo bateke chalo nibukele nkobo mwewo nibukele nka. ITC. What about KCM in Chingola? I've always spoken about, let me tell you what is happening in Chingola. In Chingola, people in Chingola, Bashmain, government has taken over KCM. It hasn't. Bufi. At most, what has happened at KCM is that Valungu, Vadison Tomu Nabo to become the liquidator. Munabo, Miringolungu. Liquidator. KCM. And Gabakupera Gadaka paper, order of liquidation. What Nishuasangu Komuine, Kutuasampuisha, you know, Kutuafi Dumbuisha, Wasampuisha. You can do anything. Can get you okay, chove. And that's exactly what has happened in Chingola. No, but it's like deja vu again. At you, Pirama miners, retirement packages. We've been through the same thing in Chingola for many years. It was completely unnecessary to do that. What we needed was a steady leadership, steady government. They don't have interest of Chingola at heart. And Fialo momentarily, no strategic implications of what they are doing. No. So Poka company and what has happened? That company, KCM, right now, has failed to pay CEC, an indigenous Zambian company. So in Congole with CEC, it's accumulating. And then the minister, Matthew Nkoa, and then he goes and he grabs CEC lines. I am lines CEC to agenda yaba yesu. And they use what is known as common carrier. At Tuapoka. No, but mwewa ume. Tuapoka. You know, that is what is happening. Hopefully it won't be cyber crime. I am a dongo. Wise man don awe tapadi if yago tinas or cyber crime law. Nawe never PF tareshi what the cyber crime. Gawabe pusha. What is this cyber crime law? They have no idea. Tareshi benabobene. So number balota they see it. Amano yako sabaira. So everything that they dream about at emo film cybercrime. Bill. Tamudi if you muliranda po. The cybercrime bill does not say that you can't go if you are a take a lungu at Yamadongo. You can still say that. If Yamadongo, nish Yamadongo. Abashire take a bueno. Nishitabare take a bueno. Number to run that if Yamadongo because of the cybercrime bill. No. So they are passing this cyber crime so that you stop the people of Zambia from holding the government accountable. You know, they are wrong. Zambians will continue holding this government accountable and telling this government to cover the dongo. Because there is an alternative way to lead. There is an alternative way to provide leadership. There is a way in which you can control inflation, a way to stop useless borrowing, a way to provide confidence in the economy, a way to send messages that are going to help with the fundamentals of our economy. Now we are negotiating with the IMF. The same thing that Kaunda did in the 80s. Should we be proud of that? Is that an achievement? No. And what is IMF going to tell them? You know, the same thing that we've been saying. Like you are building international airports. Why on earth would you borrow billions to build beautiful airports? And when you borrow billions to build beautiful airports, you are putting pressure on your budget. So you had better holding off from borrowing billions to build airports. Just renovate the little airports. So that in the coming time, Mwatambo Kokulachita invest in common sense investments in education and health. Ngamamona mwasunga po ero no mwachitako first airport mwachitako filafila. Ngani Lusaka airport mwawami yako. Nomba mulefu ati Bolingo. Government of Bolingo. So kanshi kuya Kongola ero no mwasa chaya. First rate international airports, not in Lusaka. Lusaka, Livingstone, and Ndola. Ku Livingstone mwakula airport ya tampa kutobaika. Na yamba kokali okutobaika, you know, ireswa hari mwanga nkumbula international airport yo mwakulire 2 months ago. Ireswa, you know, it's confusion. And for that, billions and billions. Ama Chinese kainga, because ama Chinese ngabami kongwesha. Then it's an asset, it's an investment. Ngabami kongwesha. Imwe it's a loss. Because why do you need a sophisticated international airport? What was inconveniencing? Most Zambians do not use that airport. Most Zambians use Intercity and Kamwala. Ngani kumansa pa buses So why not invest in those places, a little bit of investment here and there? Mwaya kongolero mwakule atifima airport. For who? For you ukumfuwa manone. And what else? Solola bien. Pako wataba nenunga waisa mkutandara we have got a very beautiful airport. No investment. No investment, common sense approach. Those are some of the concerns if you're quite. Nangwama stadiums. So China gives you Mwanawasa Stadium, and then it lets you borrow more money to build a stadium in Livingstone. Kwadina Stadium in Mongo. They were going to build a very big stadium in Mongo. And then they were also going to build another stadium. So all this money, China idemi kongwesha. Yami kongwesha. Na imumu apoka. Ero nombe mwa mkukule ifya kukule shepanga sense. That's why Magufuli. I have a lot of issues with Magufuli, okay? I don't believe Magufuli was a very good leader. But anyway, one of the things he did, at least common sense approach. One of a few good things, Pantumuntu kwena nangu movie, tabi pitida. Aire mona ati Tanzania borrowed billions ukukula kachinga train station somewhere. Magufuli, this does not make sense. And by declining that loan, you know what happened? It loosened money in his budget to invest in things that are going to help the country. That's what happened. And Tanzania now is a middle-income country. Middle-income Tanzania. Abena ne chisungu tawaranda tabaishiba. Abena Tanzania. Chisungu pa kulibe iyai. Ifwe bena Zambia. Fweba yumfuati tuliba chisungu. Tanzania is now a middle-income country. Eno nomba mutwewe ati yo munshawai tawaka bomfieko ili airport. That's besides the point. Kaingenishe airport iliko nkabomfia. Nomba for at what cost? Billions of dollars on an airport. And every month now tuwakula pira inkongole kuma Chinese. Ama Chinese nabo bebere, yes. Balungu bali ya eshokuya chitatu bachite negotiate with the President Xi. Ukubakani na Xi akana ebere no mufuri mwatampa kubweshe nkongole. What is going to happen? Inflation is likely to continue rising. Ama user fees and tax are going to continue rising. Ama statutory bodies They create more statutory bodies in order to have more money. Examinations Council of Zambia will be coming up with all these gimmicks of verification of grade 12 results. Why do you think they are insisting on verification of grade 12 results? That's not what the court said, but they're doing it because they're going to make a lot of money. So this year, Mwaramona, Examinations Council of Zambia, they are going to have a lot of money. Where are they getting this money from? From the poor. More taxation. Simple. All these statutory bodies, user fees, it's all taxation because the government is broke. Number 9, I'm going to verify in August, I paid money. So I'm going to verify my grade 12 again. Just in case, you know what I mean? Just in case cha open somewhere in Mansa Central. If it opens in Mansa Central, why not? Anyway, so I'm going to verify, I'll pay more money. Another tax. And why is this government doing it? They are broke, and so they are looking for ways and means of getting more money from the already overtaxed population. Temple Lazarus, Western Province needs better schools. Yeah, but they actually borrowed money from China to build a stadium in Western Province. I don't know what has happened, but it appears like they've not gone ahead with that. The same stadium in Lusaka, very similar sizes. They were going to have it in Livingston. They were going to have it in Mongo. They were also going to have it in Chipata. Right? At that time, Dr. Chimbakambwili was Minister of Sport. I'm not talking about Dr. Chimbakambwili today. There will be a very good day to talk about it. Yeah. Valungu thinks he will just apologize to the IMF course. Na balombo bwerero ku IMF at mutuwerere ko. And the IMF is like, give us the numbers. The whole reason why today Takuli agreement with the IMF, it's because, you see, this government hides figures from us, but internationally they know, right? So because when China lends money, it has to report to the World Bank, to the IMF, to several other things, and then impia shari kwa toko ukoshipita. So tekasaka fyaka kwa China it's lending you money as a country. Ero nomba China yasa miletera fyaka saka kama yuans na kama dollars. No, it has to be wired through the international monetary mechanism. And so balamona kwa China is lending money to Zambia. So balapenda. Number IMF ileve pusha. I'm negotiators from Zambia. How much money are you owing the Chinese? That is where the issue is. Simple question. It's been years. Tabasuka iyo pantu impia ba kongola shingi. Elo shimbi badi fisa. Yeah. Elo shimbi badi fisa. Is Zambia only in Lusaka about roads, street lights, ayaku western wala. Balungu baina bare fimwena fimu Lusaka. And it's not even solving practical problems. As long as it takes pictures. You know, people say I like pictures. I can't compare nache pa inekuri balungu. I'm pictures balungu. Nama pictures yama bridge. Batuma a thing. A drone ya kopa. I don't know that this is how we are developing Zambia. No. May answer you, leave Tanzania out of this. Of course, I've left Tanzania out of it. Ndetasha, I'm saying that Magufuli, even if he's not my model leader, because I have reservations about the late style of presidency, particularly with the way he handled the opposition. I don't like it. I don't like people, no matter how good you are. If you are arresting people arbitrarily and I really don't care whether you perform an economic miracle. If you do not respect the opposition, I have no respect for you. I'm sorry. I want to see that our Zambia and our economies in Africa are developing while at the same time respecting basic civil liberties. I have no, anyway. But even if he did that, he was very pragmatic about the solutions for his country. And today, Tanzania is a middle-income country. That's what I meant. About echisungu nachirasekesha akofya abantu tabomfua kanowabika mutu hakusekesha sekesha mwamona. But it's true, Tanzanians tabalande echisungu. But anyway, nareka munjerereko. Yeah. Where do they take money? Bareba. Okay. Thank you very much for joining me today. God bless you and God bless our country, and happy Holy Saturday. I know it's almost midnight. So thank you very much for staying with me today. Okay, bye.